Well, hello, hello. This is the Numbers Bible Study Part 1. This will be a three-part series. This will be chapters 1 through 10, then 11 through 20, and then there will be 21 through 36. So we're doing 1 through 10 today. So basically, Numbers 1, it opens up with the census of the people. Just like the census we have today, pretty much. There's really no other way to describe it. Census is pretty basic. But they are telling the numbers of the tribes. On the second month of the first day of the second year since coming out of Egypt, then the Lord tells Moses, "You are to take census of the tribes. Men 20 or older that are the heads of, and the heads of the household are to help you. To name the ones to help, 12 of them. They are appointed. First of all is Reuben. He was the firstborn to Israel, and his number of people was 46,500 people. Then you go to Simon, who was 59,300 people. Then you got Gad. He had 45,650. Judah had 74,600. Issachar had 54,400. Zebulon had 57,400. Ephraim had 40,500. Manasseh, if I said that right, had 32,200. Benjamin, the tribe of Benjamin, had 35,400. The tribe of Dan had 62,700. The tribe of Asher had 41,500. The tribe of uh, Naphtali, if I said that right, probably didn't, had 53,400. So that was everyone from 20 or older that were able to serve in the army by then. So the total number of that was 603,550. Then God said, "None of the Levites are to be counted, though. They are to guard the tabernacle of the testimony. They are to move it when Israel moves. They are to set it up and take it down so that the wrath does not fall on the Israelites. The Levites are to take care of this." So then we get into Numbers 2. This can be called the arrangement of the tribal camps. The Lord tells Moses and Aaron that the Israelites are to camp around the tent of the meeting, but some distance from it, and each man is to hold banners of his family. Well, because they were getting numbered by this point. Then says on the east towards the sunrise, the camp of Judah. Next to them is the tribe of Issachar, and then the tribe of Zebulon. These will be the men who will set out first. On the south will be the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Simon, and the tribe of Gad. They will set out second. Then the tent of the meeting is to go with the Levites. They are to be in the middle. On the west is the tribe of Ephraim and the tribe of Masani and the tribe of Benjamin. They are to set out third. And then on the north is the tribe of Dan, Asher, and Naphtali. These are the last to leave. That is the total of the 603,550 Israelites counted, but the Levites were not counted, of course. He puts emphasis on that again. It takes you to Numbers chapter 3. This chapter is about the Levites. It talks about the account of Aaron and Moses' family at the time of Mount Sinai. It talks of Aaron and his sons and the two that died prior from the unauthorized fire before the Lord. Those names were Nadab and Abihu. The Lord tells Moses by this time to get the Levites and have them assist Aaron. The Levites are to perform the duties that we are talking about, the furnishings in the tabernacles, and etc. They are to help carry this. And again, it appoints Aaron and his son as the priest. He had four children, but there's only two left now by this point. If anyone else approaches the sanctuary, they must be put to death. Geez, that's pretty brutal. But their time back then was so easy to slip back into paganism and all that. Not saying it ain't now, but by this point, so many times he had already pulled them out. But the Lord tells Moses, "I have taken the Levites in place of Israel's firstborn." He's reminding us of the covenant that he was talking about in the prior two chapters. They are mine. Take them and count their numbers from every male 1 month or older, compared to Israel had every one 20 or older, because the Levites, they're taking the firstborn. So that's why they are counting a younger age. And then he names the sons of Levi. Those sons will become clans. He tells each tribe what side of the tabernacle to camp on. Moses and Aaron and his sons were to camp on the east side of the sanctuary. The Levites they numbered at 22,000. So now count the Israelites, 1 month and older. Now he wanted to count them and to count the livestock. The Israelites males 1 month or older was 22,273. So the Levites, who had taken the place of the firstborn, only had 22,000. So this left 273 over that the Lord said there had to be made atonement for this. So for those 273 left over, take 5 shekels per person, give them to Aaron as redemption. So Moses collects the redemption money, he brings it to him, and the amount was 1,365 shekels of silver. The money went to Aaron and the sons as the Lord commanded. They had to pay money because they had more Israelites than Levites as firstborns. Crazy. I might get some of these names wrong. If I do, forgive me. But Numbers 4 is about the Kohathites, the Gershonites, and the Merarites. And numbering of the Levite clan. It's a basic way we can call this. The Lord said, number all the men of the Kohathite branch of Levites, men from 30 to 50. This is their work. They are to take care of the most holy things inside the tabernacle. When the camp moves, Aaron and his sons are to take down the shielding curtains and the cover of the Ark of Testimony with it. It talks of what they are to do with the rest of the stuff. They are to take the ash and spread it on top of the purple cloth during the moving. After Aaron and his sons finish covering the holy furnishings and all the holy articles. And when the camp is ready to move now, the Kohathites are able to carry it by now. It's now time to go. They must not touch the holy things, though, for they will die. Eleazar, if I said his name right, I think I did, son of Aaron, one of them left alive. He is the priest to take charge of the oil of the lamp and the fragrance, incense, the grain offerings, and the anointing oils. He is in charge of the entire tabernacle. Aaron and his sons are to go in and give them things to do, the Levites, or the Kohathites, all of them, the clans that are broke up. But don't let them look at the holy things. Then the Lord says, take a census of the Gershonites now. Count them from 30 to 50 also. Aaron and the other son, Ithamar, is in charge of them. They are to carry the stuff like the curtain of the tabernacle, the tent of the meeting, etc. The Lord speaks a little about the Merarites, but they are also counted the same ages, and Ithamar is also to command them. They are to carry things like the frames of the tabernacle, the crossbars, etc. Then the conclusion of this chapter, they all together numbered 8,580 men. So we get to Numbers 5 halfway through this. Numbers 5 is about the purity of the camp, the restitution for the wrongs, and the test for an unfaithful wife. So the Lord is once again talking about disease by this point, that they are to go outside the camp so that they don't defile it as among you, as I dwell among you. The Lord tells Moses that if anyone wrongs one another, they are to make restitution and add a fifth of a value. He's kind of making emphasis on this again. If they got no close relatives to whom restitution can be made, then belongs to the Lord and give it to the priest. Now it gets out of that point. I don't talk much about it. Then it goes into now we are talking about the test of the unfaithful wife. The Lord tells Moses that if any man's wife goes astray and sleeps with another man and no witnesses are had, and then the husband gets jealous and suspects that she's impure, then he is to go to the priest and make an offering for guilt. Then the woman is to stand by the priest. He then takes the holy water in the clay jar and puts some dust in it. She shall loosen her hair, and he places her head or her hand the offering made for jealousy. Then the husband is to hold the bitter water. The wife then goes under oath and says some things that it talks about, and in the oath, if not guilty, then no curse comes about them. But if they are guilty, then the priest says, may this curse you and swell your belly and waste away your inner thighs. So basically, you can't make pregnancy no more. The woman says, amen, so be it. It speaks of more about this, but I'm giving you a quick tidbit. And at the end, if the man is not guilty, at the end it says man is not guilty, but the woman lives with sin through all this, even if there is a suspected jealousy. So through that, she's to drink this bitter water, and it's a test of faith. If I truly am not lying to you, then nothing's going to happen to me. It's a true test of faith that I don't think any of us could truly go through the test of faith that they went through in the Old Testament times. I don't think our society can deal with it. But number 6 talks about the Nazarites. And the priestly blessings are the two main things this chapter talks about. The Lord told Moses that if any of the Nazarite man or woman wants to make a vow of separation to the Lord, that they must abstain from wine and other fermented drink, and must not drink wine made of vinegar, and do not drink grape juice or eat grapes or raisins. During this period of his separation, he is to concentrate to the Lord. He must not cut his hair, it is to grow out. He must not go by any dead bodies, even if it is mother or father, brother or sister, it doesn't matter. They are not to become ceremonially unclean. Check this out. If someone dies in their presence, though, while on the separation, they are to shave their head on the 7th day. Then the 8th day they must bring 2 doves or pigeons that are perfect and bring them to the priest for an offering. One is for the sin and the other is a burnt offering. Then the following day he is to bring one young 1-year-old lamb as a guilt for his sin, for he has sinned because someone suddenly died in front of them. The obedience back then was higher than now. Then Moses is told about the period of time after the separation is over. Bring a 1-year-old male for burnt, a 1-year-old EU lamb male for sin offering, a ram for fellowship, and all with no defects, of course. So this is, of course, they come to them after this if they have not been ceremonially unclean, and this is following the guidelines of what was said before this. Nobody died in front of them. So this is what is happening afterwards. After this, even if that happened after this, regardless, they are to do all these things afterwards. So then continue to a grain offering, drink offering, baskets of bread made with no yeast, cake with oil, wafers spread with oil. All of this is to be presented to the Lord. Then you are to cut off your hair, dedicate it, and throw it into the fire under the sacrifice of the fellowship offering. Not the burnt offering or anything else, the fellowship offering, which the fellowship offering was the ram. Then the Lord tells Moses what the priest shall say to bless someone, to pretty much wrap up their little ceremony of what they're doing. So number 7 is probably out of this the biggest chapter. It is the offerings at the dedication of the tabernacle. After Moses finishes setting up the tabernacle by this point, he anointed it and consecrated it. All the leaders of Israel made offerings. If you've been following these by then, you're kind of seeing we're backtracking a little bit. We spoke of this stuff through Leviticus and Exodus. We are backtracking a little bit through Numbers. Just like a movie or any other type of book, people get that confused when we get to the Bible. It backtracks sometimes to give references to where we're at now and then, etc., etc. So after all the leaders of Israel made offerings, the chapter explains what they brought. The Lord tells Moses that he is to accept these from the leaders and give them to the Levites as each man's work requires. So Moses only splits the stuff between the Gershonites and the Merites, because the Kohathanites were to carry on their shoulders the holy things. They weren't part of this. The Lord tells Moses that each day one leader is to bring offering. The first was Nahshon from the tribe of, if I said his name right, or it may have been Nahshon, from the tribe of Judah. Just a few things of these, from anywhere from 130 shekels of silver plates to rams and lambs. The second day, Nathaniel, the leader of Issachar, a lot of the same things they all offered, like a gold dish weighing 10 shekels with incense in it. On the third day, Eliab, the leader of Zebulon, grain offerings. The fourth was Eliezer, leader of the people of Reuben, and all his offerings are explained. They're pretty much all the same offerings. The fifth day is the leader of the people of Simon, and all the offerings he brought. The 6th day was the leader of the people of Gad, all the offerings. The 7th, you see where we're going with this, was Elishma, the leader of the people of Ephraim, and their offerings. The 8th was the people of Masani and their offerings. The 9th was the leader of Benjamin and their offerings. The 10th was the leader of Dan and their offerings. The 11th was the leader of Asher and their offerings. The 12th was the leader of Nathaliah and their offerings. So that's the 12 leaders. It equals basically 12 silver plates, 12 silver sprinkling bowls, 12 gold dishes, each weighed the same with the same stuff in them. All the animals for the burnt offerings numbered 12 bulls, 12 rams, 12 male lambs together with the grain offerings, 12 male goats for sin. The fellowship offering was 24 oxen, 60 rams, 60 male goats, 60 male lambs, and Moses entered the tent of the meeting to speak with the Lord, and they spoke. It's really confusing. This book has a lot of numbers in it. You get tongue twisted with all the numbers, and then it gets you to Numbers 8, which after you finish that chapter, you're into a very small chapter by this point. It's basically setting up the lamp, setting apart from the Levites. Talking of the lamp again and the Levites again, the Lord says to Moses, tell Aaron that the 7 lampstands are to be lit in the area, or are to light the area in front of the lampstand. Then the Lord tells Moses to make the Levites ceremonial clean. They are to go to have them shave their entire body, sprinkle the cleansing water on them, and wash their clothes. The Lord asked them to do burnt offerings, grain offerings, wave offerings, sin offerings. We've explained all those. The wave offerings, they wave, a burnt offering up in the air. They are mine, is what God has said from the beginning with the Levites. They are mine. He's emphasizing that again in this chapter. And that way they are to be a wave offering to me. So basically, this time a human is being used as a wave offering, is how they're emphasizing. They are in place of the firstborn as a reminder of taking the firstborn in Egypt. The Levites did as asked. The Levites listened to Aaron and his sons. The Levites 25 or older were able to work, but by the age of 50 they shall retire, but they can still help. They're just not to be like an everyday working type of, get up every day and do it. They're basically to retire, but they can still help on appointed days if they wanted to. Numbers 9, getting there, is about the Passover and the cloud above the tabernacle. So it flashes back a bit again. Moses was told by the Lord in the desert of Sinai that this was on the first month of the second year out of Egypt when to celebrate the Passover on the 14th of the first month at twilight. So in these times, we are at Passover. So listen, the first month for them, there's so much discrepancy because really their new year is October. But since they're talking about Passover, the first month of the 14th day is April 14th. So this month is called Abib. So it continues to say that the ones that are ceremonially unclean because of a dead body, or the ones that are out on journeys, they are asked why they are not to partake in the celebrations that is happening, the Passover. Moses asked the Lord, he says, let me go ask the Lord. He asked the Lord, and the Lord said, all are to celebrate this. But if one is clean and does not partake in it, then they are cut off from the people. So he's saying the ones that are ceremonially unclean because they weren't partaking in Passover, and the ones out on journey, no matter where they're at, they're to stop and do Passover. But if they are clean and remember all these and don't partake in it, they're cut off from the people. If an alien wants to celebrate, alien of the land wants to celebrate, they can. But they have to follow the rules, though. Down to a T, down to a point. They have to follow it. On the day of tabernacle, the tent of the meeting, we're going on past Passover now. A cloud covered it from evening till morning. The cloud looked like a fire. The night looked as if it was on fire. Just like before when the cloud was over the tabernacle, they stood and camped every time it was down on the camp. But when it lifted, they set out. If it stood for a long time, they listened and didn't leave. If the cloud even stood over the camp for a year, it even talks about, they didn't leave their camp for a year. That is crazy. So you can only imagine, since it's saying that, There was a point in time they sat literally for a whole year, or it wouldn't imply that to us, without leaving their camp because the cloud didn't leave. That's crazy. So you know the Lord provided manna for them like in Exodus. To wrap this up, and I'll give you a few terms after this, is Numbers 10. You basically call it the silver trumpets and the Israelites leave Sinai. So then the Lord tells Moses to make 2 trumpets of hammered silver. They are for setting out and gathering the community, basically. If both are sounded, the community must meet you in front of the tent of the meeting. But if only one is sounded, the tribes are to come to you. When a trumpet blast sounds, the camp on the east are to set out. At a second blast, the camps to the south do the same. To gather the community, blow the trumpets, but not with the same signal. The priests are to blow the trumpets too. I know it sounds a little confusing. In battle, at feast, over a burnt offering, over a fellowship offering, the trumpets are to be blasted. So they set out on the 2nd month of the 20th day. So if we're following from Passover, that means it would be May 20th, which last chapter said the first month was the 14th day Passover. So next month would be May, or Iyar, if I'm saying it right. Then he gave order of how everyone would set out. First Judah, then all the way to the tribe of Dan. Moses then pleads with Hobab, the son of his father-in-law, because he wants to go back home. It sounds like in here Moses convinces him to stay with them because it says then they set out. So I imagine he somehow talked his father-in-law's son into staying. So then to give you a few terms in this before we wrap this study up, the Gershonites are the sons of Moses' sons. Remember, Moses in Exodus had a son named Gershon. Not much is said about them, but they are part of the Levitical family. The Kohathites are the descendants of Kohath, the son of Levi, which goes all the way back to genealogy of Genesis 10. They, along with other 3, are in charge of helping the tabernacle. After the conquest, the ones that descended from Aaron got 13 cities from the tribes of Judah, Simon, and Benjamin. Joshua chapter 21, verse 4. The remaining ones got 10 cities from the tribes of Dan, Ephraim, and Masani. Joshua 21, verse 5. It talks about that. Then the Merites are a major of the division of priest descendants from Mira, the 3rd son of Levi. They help with everyone else that we've been talking about. Some of them also helped David move the Ark of Jerusalem in 1 Chronicles chapter 15, verse 6. They got 12 cities given to them from the tribes of Reuben all the way to Zebulun and Gad. The Nazarites is, I think, the last thing I was going to talk about because it's the first time we hear of them. They are a member of class of individuals especially devoted to God. This group of people are tied to Samson in Judges 13, John the Baptist in Luke chapter 1, verses 15 through 17, and Paul took a Nazarite vow for a specific period of time in Acts 18:18 and Acts 21, verses 22 through 26. So I want to thank you guys for joining in this. I will get out sometime, probably not next week, but the week after, because next week's Christmas, part 2 of Numbers. So this gives us over a week to study this. And God bless you guys. Like and share. I know Bible study can be kind of boring sometimes, but this is how it is. You know, I was given a vision of 66 books. We got to study them. It's not always fun. We are getting close to fun chapters. After we get out of the Pentateuch, which is after the next book, Deuteronomy, the first 5 books, we get into interesting things. I really can't wait till I get into the book of Ruth because it actually kind of talks about average life in Israel, if you really kind of think about it. Average life in Bible times compared to most of the Bible we're following prophets. So I really can't wait. There is a really exciting chapters coming. Numbers is going to be kind of strenuous like Leviticus because there's a lot of numbers and census and a lot of flashing back. Deuteronomy starts getting really exciting into Joshua when they take over the land. So we're really getting close to getting into really nitty gritty, exciting parts of the Bible. And of course, New Testament will be extremely exciting. But God bless you guys. These are still important. Take care.